Let's dive into something truly transformative. I want to talk to you about the power of visualization and how, when done correctly, your subconscious mind will make it happen. You see, every single thought, every image you create in your mind has the potential to become your reality. This isn't some abstract idea. This is grounded in science and the power of the mind. Let's start with this. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. When you vividly imagine something, your brain fires the same neural networks as if you were actually experiencing it. Now that's powerful. Think about it. If you keep visualizing something consistently with emotion, your brain starts to believe it's already happened. And this is where the magic begins. Every time you visualize, you're priming your brain to look for opportunities, to notice synchronicities that align with your vision. This is because you've conditioned your mind to see that reality as possible, even probable. So the more you visualize, the more you're wiring your brain for success. Now, visualization is not just about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's about training your mind, training your body to feel the emotions of that future experience now. This is crucial because your subconscious mind doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to the emotions tied to those desires. The more you can feel as if your vision is already your reality, the more your subconscious mind gets to work to make it happen. So, let's break this down. When you visualize, you need to be specific. The clearer and more detailed your mental image, the more effectively your brain can map it out. Picture yourself living your dream life. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Engage all your senses. If you can see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, and feel it in your mind, you're sending a powerful signal to your subconscious that this is real. And here's the thing. Your subconscious mind is always working. It's like a supercomputer running in the background, processing data, searching for solutions, aligning circumstances to match your internal state. When you repeatedly visualize your goals, your subconscious starts to filter your thoughts, actions, and experiences to bring that vision into reality. But here's a critical point. It's not enough to just visualize. You need to combine it with emotion. Why? Because emotion is the energy that fuels the thought. Without emotion, your visualization is flat, and it lacks the power to move your subconscious into action. You need to feel it with every fiber of your being. Feel the excitement, the joy, the gratitude as if it's already happened. The more intense your emotion, the stronger the signal you're sending to your subconscious. Now let's talk about the role of belief. Your beliefs are the gatekeepers to your subconscious mind. If you're visualizing something but deep down you don't believe it's possible, your subconscious won't fully commit to making it happen. It's like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. You're going to need to align your beliefs with your vision. This might mean challenging some old, limiting beliefs. It might mean reprogramming your mind to accept a new reality, a new way of being. And this is where the real work begins. You see, most people have been conditioned to believe in limitations. They've been taught that they can't have it all, that they need to play it safe, that they should stick to what's comfortable and familiar. But this is where we need to break free. We need to recondition our minds to believe in limitless possibilities. And this isn't just positive thinking. This is rewiring your brain at the deepest level. The science backs this up. Neuroplasticity shows us that our brains are malleable, that we can create new neural pathways by changing our thoughts and behaviors. So when you consistently visualize your desired reality, you're literally reshaping your brain to support that reality. Over time, your brain begins to operate as if that vision is already your life. Your thoughts, behaviors, and even your biology start to align with that new reality. And here's something amazing. When you do this consistently, you'll begin to notice changes in your external world. Opportunities will start appearing. People will come into your life who can help you achieve your goals. Circumstances will shift in your favor. This is not a coincidence. This is the power of your subconscious mind in action. You've tuned into a new frequency, and the universe is responding to that signal. But let me tell you, this process isn't always easy. It requires commitment, consistency, and a willingness to confront your old self. Your old self will resist. It will try to pull you back into familiar patterns, familiar thoughts, familiar emotions, but this is where you need to stay strong. This is where you need to keep visualizing, keep feeling, keep believing. The more you do this, the more you'll break through those old patterns, and the more your new reality will begin to take shape. Remember, your subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but it's also neutral. It doesn't judge whether your thoughts are positive or negative. It simply works to bring whatever you consistently focus on into reality. This is why it's so important to be mindful of your thoughts. If you're constantly worrying, fearing the worst, or doubting yourself, your subconscious mind will work to create more of that in your life. But if you're focused on your vision, filled with positive emotions, and truly believing in your potential, your subconscious will go to work to make that your reality. So what's the takeaway here? You need to make visualization a daily practice. Set aside time each day to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and step into your future self. See yourself living your dream life. Feel the emotions as if it's already yours. Believe with all your heart that it's possible. The more you do this, the more you're conditioning your subconscious mind to make it happen. And don't just visualize the end result. Visualize the steps along the way. See yourself taking the necessary actions, overcoming obstacles, and moving closer to your goal every day. This not only reinforces your belief in the outcome, but also primes your brain to take action when the opportunities arise. Let's take a moment to talk about something incredibly important in the process of creating your reality: gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a powerful emotion that can transform your life and speed up the manifestation of your dreams. When you practice gratitude, you align yourself with positive energy, making it easier for your desires to come true. When you feel grateful for something, even before it has happened, you are sending a message to your subconscious mind that it is already done. This is a powerful statement. Imagine you want to achieve a goal, like getting a new job or improving your health. By feeling grateful as if you have already achieved that goal, you are telling your mind that it's real. This helps your subconscious to believe it and start working to make it happen. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can emit. Vibrations are like the energy you put out into the world. High vibrations attract positive experiences, while low vibrations attract negative ones. When you feel grateful, your vibration is high, and this positive energy helps to attract more good things into your life. It's like sending out a strong signal that the universe picks up and responds to by bringing you what you desire. When you combine gratitude with visualization, the results are even more powerful. Visualization is the practice of imagining your goals and dreams as if they are already happening. When you add gratitude to this practice, you amplify the effect. For example, if you are visualizing yourself in a new job, take a moment to feel grateful for having that job. Feel the happiness, the excitement, and the satisfaction as if it is already your reality. This combination sends a clear and strong message to your subconscious mind. Gratitude also helps you stay focused on what you want instead of what you lack. Often we get caught up in negative thoughts about what we don't have, which can block our ability to attract positive things. By practicing gratitude, you shift your focus to the positive aspects of your life and what you are aiming to achieve. This positive focus helps to eliminate negative thoughts and makes room for your desires to grow. Another important aspect of gratitude is that it creates a sense of abundance. When you are grateful for what you already have, you start to see that there is plenty more to come. This abundance mindset opens you up to receive more blessings and opportunities. It's like telling the universe that you are ready to receive more good things, and the universe responds by bringing them to you. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine can be simple and easy. Start each day by listing a few things you are grateful for. They can be small things, like a good cup of coffee, a sunny day, or a kind word from a friend. This helps to set a positive tone for the day and prepares your mind to receive more good things. When you encounter challenges or difficulties, take a moment to find something to be grateful for in the situation. This could be a lesson you are learning or the strength you are gaining from overcoming obstacles. Another way to practice gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal. Write down the things you are thankful for each day. This not only reinforces your positive mindset, but also creates a record of all the good things in your life. When you look back on your journal, you'll see how much you have to be grateful for, which can boost your mood and motivation. Expressing gratitude to others is also very important. When you thank someone, you not only make them feel good, but you also enhance your own positive energy. This strengthens your relationships and creates a supportive environment for your manifestations. People are more likely to help and support you when they feel appreciated and valued. Gratitude also helps to reduce stress and anxiety. When you focus on what you are thankful for, you shift your attention away from worries and fears. This relaxation of the mind and body creates a better state for manifestation to occur. A calm and positive mind is more effective at attracting what you desire. Feeling gratitude can also improve your overall health and well-being. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude have lower levels of stress, better sleep, and stronger immune systems. When you feel good physically and mentally, you are more capable of attracting and achieving your goals. To deepen your gratitude practice, try meditating on what you are thankful for. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and bring to mind the things you appreciate in your life. Feel the warmth and happiness that comes with each thought of gratitude. Let this feeling fill your entire being and extend it to your future desires. Imagine that your goals have already been achieved and feel thankful for them as if they are already part of your life. This combination of visualization and gratitude sends a powerful signal to your subconscious mind, telling it to work diligently to make your vision a reality. It's also helpful to use affirmations related to gratitude. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself to reinforce your beliefs. For example, you can say, "I am grateful for the abundance in my life," or "I am thankful for the opportunities that are coming my way." These affirmations help to keep your mind focused on gratitude and reinforce your positive mindset. Now, some of you might be thinking, what if I can't visualize? What if I don't see clear images in my mind? Don't worry. Visualization isn't just about seeing pictures. It's about feeling the experience. If you can't see it, focus on the emotions, the sensations, the energy of your desired reality. That's what matters most. Your subconscious mind responds to the emotion and energy behind the thought, not just the image itself. Patience is a key part of the manifestation process, and it's something that we all need to embrace. When you start visualizing your goals, it's natural to hope that they will come to life quickly. We live in a world where everything seems to happen fast, and we're used to getting what we want right away. But when it comes to manifesting your desires, sometimes things don't happen overnight. In fact, it might take weeks, months, or even years for your vision to fully manifest. And that's okay. The important thing is not to let this delay discourage you or make you doubt your ability to create the life you want. You see, just because you can't see the results immediately doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Your subconscious mind is always at work, even when you're not consciously aware of it. It's like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't see it grow right away. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that over time it will sprout and grow into a beautiful plant. The same thing happens with your visions and dreams. Once you've planted the seed of your desire in your mind, your subconscious begins to nurture it. It starts to work behind the scenes, aligning the necessary circumstances, people, and events to bring your vision into reality. This is where patience comes in. Patience is about trusting the process. It's about knowing that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you can't see it. Sometimes the universe needs time to arrange everything perfectly for you. It's like preparing a complex puzzle. Each piece needs to fit perfectly in its place before the full picture can be revealed. If you rush the process, you might end up with a puzzle that doesn't quite make sense. But if you trust that every piece is being placed where it needs to be, you'll eventually see the beautiful picture that was meant for you. One of the most important things to remember is that the timing of your manifestation is not always under your control. The universe has its own timeline, and it's not always the same as yours. Sometimes what you want may take longer to manifest because there are things you need to learn or experience first. Maybe there are other people involved who need to be in the right place in their lives for your vision to come true. Or perhaps the universe is preparing something even better for you than what you originally imagined. Whatever the reason, it's important to trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. So, how do you stay patient during this process? The key is to keep visualizing, keep feeling, and keep believing. Every time you visualize your goal, you're sending a signal to your subconscious mind that this is what you want. When you add emotion to that visualization, like feeling the joy or excitement of having your desire, you're amplifying that signal. And when you truly believe that what you want is on its way, you're giving your subconscious mind the permission it needs to continue working towards your goal. But patience doesn't mean sitting around and doing nothing. It means staying active in your pursuit of your dreams while trusting that the universe is doing its part. Keep taking steps towards your goal, even if they're small ones. Each action you take is like watering the seed you planted. It's a way of showing the universe that you're serious about what you want. And as you take those steps, remain open to the guidance and opportunities that come your way. Sometimes the universe will send you signs or nudges that you're on the right path. Other times, you might face challenges or setbacks that test your patience. But remember, these are all part of the process. Patience is also about being kind to yourself. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like, but it's important not to beat yourself up. Manifestation is a journey, not a race. Celebrate the small wins along the way, and remind yourself that every step forward is progress. Even if you can't see the end result yet, trust that it's coming. Is going to call up the event because you're emotionally connected to it, and you're going to say, I'm this way because of that past experience. So then imagine what I do with people. We have people that have been abused. We have people that have been traumatized, that have been assaulted. We have people that have had very, very difficult pasts. And have you ever heard me say to revisit the event? Have you ever heard me say that? Never. We need to revisit the event because once you do, you open the box. But what we want to do is overcome the emotion because that's just what's lasting from the event. So you sit a person down, and the moment you sit them down, what do you think the body's going to do? It's going to look for something to recreate that emotion because that's the person's identity. Are you with me still? So if I inspire the person to sit there, and they're sitting there, and all of a sudden they're noticing that they're hot, and they're irritated, and their stomach is twisting, and all of a sudden it's a group of sensations, a group of feelings that they have called all along frustration. But the different sensations, the moment you name it, it becomes an emotion. But what it is just bodily sensations. It's energy that's stuck in the body. So the body is looking to go back to the past. It's believing it's in the past. Are you with me still? So if the person becomes aware that their body is doing that, and like training an animal, allow the body to feel that emotion and then settle it down into the present moment. When you settle it down into the present moment, the body starts to trust the present moment and move out of the past. And there's a release of energy. Then the body goes, wait a second, what's going to happen in the next moment? And it starts doing that. And it starts to try anticipate the future. And you settle the body back down into the present moment. And every time you do that, you're telling the body it's no longer the mind, that you're the mind and your will is getting greater than the program. And all of a sudden, you start to lower the volume to that emotion. And when you begin to break the addiction to that emotion, the side effect of breaking that addiction is called joy. It's called freedom. All of a sudden, the body's saying, I don't want to be tormented anymore. Now, does that mean you shouldn't grieve over things that you lose? Grieving is a biological process. That's why you're saying it. So the subconscious is 95%. So more than likely, your body is going to do exactly what it's programmed to do. So what's the relevance of that? Well, people say, I want wealth, but they're programmed into being unworthy and lacking. So then as they begin to do the meditative work and they start opening their heart, I was just talking to someone yesterday. When you open the center, things are going to sift to the top. All the programs are going to come right up. And when they come up like that, you're going to see why it isn't manifesting in your life. Now, don't see it as like, why is this happening? Did I do something wrong? The subconscious is actually venting. There's a certain period of time in the early mornings where we vent our anxieties, we vent our fears. It's the way the subconscious goes, let's just have this dream and let's just get it over with. So the subconscious is saying, what if you hit the tree? What if you're actually going to hit the tree? You're going to hit the tree because that's exactly the imagery you have when you're trying to create something. You're saying, I really want this because I'm really afraid of dying. I'm really afraid of failure. I'm really afraid of rejection. So the person is subconsciously and unconsciously creating the imagery that's actually being revealed to them. So how do we change that? Well, really simple. We've got to start rehearsing a new way. We've got to start getting into those deep brainwave states, getting beyond the analytical mind, slowing our brainwaves down, getting into the operating system, and start reprogramming. So when this happens, these are the things I'm going to do. These are the things I'm going to do to create that and start rehearsing those steps, priming and reprogramming the brain into a new outcome. So I have had that many, many years in my life, but I always have seen it as a strong sign, a strong symbol that I've got something switched in my brain. I could say that people say I want to be healthy. Yeah, it's 5% of your conscious mind, but you set them at the dinner table and they're breaking all the rules of everything they said. So why does that happen? Because the program is running and they've lost their free will to a program. So now that's important because your subconscious is talking to you. Now you've got to get in there. You've got to get in there and start rehearsing that you're going to step away from the table, that you're not going to eat after a certain hour, that you're going to make better choices and rehearse them and remember what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Now you begin to, on a fundamental level, begin to rewrite the script, begin to rewrite the program. And over time, if you make one or two new choices and restrain some old choices, you'll tend to make more better choices after you make a few because you'll start feeling the satisfaction of your efforts. I was altered in some way because I lost everything, and I haven't been able to change for the last 2 years. The fact that we can think about how we think, the fact that we can observe how we're acting, the fact that we can pay attention to how we're feeling means we can modify ourselves to do a better job in life. That's called metacognition. So when a person begins to wake up to who they're being, and then they say, like Gandalf on the bridge in Lord of the Rings, you may not pass today, that kind of decision becomes an experience for the person that they never forget. That kind of willingness to change is when they transmute those survival emotions into elevated emotions. And those emotions, because they're addictive and emotions are the record of the past, then for the most part, the body, as the unconscious mind, does not know the difference between an experience in your life that creates an emotion, and an emotion that you can fabricate by thought alone. To the body, it's the same. So a person who's living in anger every day or sadness in every day, their body, as their unconscious mind, is believing it's in the same past conditions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The body's in the past. So when a person takes that emotion and literally denatures it and turns it into another emotion, the freedom from that addiction, breaking the chains from that emotional addiction, is called self-love, is called joy. Now there's a liberation of energy. The person is in love with themselves, they're in love with their life, and they say, that was so worth it. And all of a sudden they look back at their past and they say, I would never change anything in my past because it brought me to this present moment. And when you can look back at your past that way, then the past rolls up to the present moment, and now you're beginning to experience true freedom. That certain people will not see possibility until they reach crisis, till they reach their lowest level, and then they're going to wake up and say, I better change. I think the greatest demonstration of change really is to begin to show others how to do it, to be the living example of it. That when you and I are the living example of joy, that when we are not attached to what people think or emotions that keep us feeling sick, and we are celebrating life and we are passionate about our future, that we are filled with ideas and inspiration, that's a very contagious state of being. And people that are lost in habits or lost in those emotional states, they will see it initially as an affront. It will be a confronting moment for them. But inside them, they secretly want to be free. They just don't know how to do it. So we always say in our workshops, you always know when someone is in the midst of change because they stop talking about it. They don't talk about it. They're too busy being it. So if you and I are waking up every morning and demonstrating change in our life, the people in our life have one of two choices. They either begin to become inspired by change for themselves, not because you're preaching to them philosophically, but because you're demonstrating it in your life. They'll either rise up to that, or the person cannot maintain a relationship with the person who's living in such freedom, which means they'll probably stay the same for the rest of their life. But if crisis happens, they may make another choice. So my recommendation for people who are steeped in habits and emotional states and patterns of thought, the individuals around them have to live in a state of joy. They have to live in a state of freedom. They have to demonstrate it in every single area of their life. And normally there's a thing in physics called entrainment, which means sooner or later, others start to vibrate at the same rate as you. If you look at this and you study it in history, it's a sign that something new has to be born. As the old model of reality begins to change, something else has to replace it. So we have two ways that we actually face crisis. We can either face crisis in a state of emergency, which in the beginning of a crisis is healthy, or we can face crisis in a state of creativity and innovation. If you're addressing a financial crisis or a crisis in a culture and everybody is selfish and everybody's living by those emotions, then they're pushing their way to get to the head of the line. They're competing. They're forcing outcomes. They're using very primitive systems to try to take care of themselves. We know from the physiology of the brain that most of the blood supply goes to the hindbrain and away from the forebrain. Those chemicals create a gap between the way things appear in our life and the way things really are. In other words, we're viewing reality in an altered state. We don't see possibility. We feel separate from each other. We are competing and striving to get to the head of the line by using our cunning, manipulative, egocentric ways to get there. And we're very controllable. Fear is very controllable. Competition is very controllable. Anger and war divides individuals. Now that is not a way to address a crisis, because the service to self, or taking care of the self, is the exact thing that enhances the crisis. Because if you and I are all doing the same, if we're all doing the same thing, then a culture becomes more divided. It becomes more disintegrated. It becomes more incoherent. And possibility then is not part of the equation. So the other state of mind, if you can view crisis as a great opportunity, brilliantly disguised as an impossible situation, and you have to match the conditions in your environment with a new mind. Now we're talking about greatness, because innovation and creativity and a new way of thinking and a new way of being means that we can't do the same thing from the past. And so in history, cultures that are individuals that overcame their environmental conditions were considered mystics and saints and leaders and charismatic leaders. They were individuals that saw past the illusion of the present reality. When we begin to become innovative or creative, the brain begins to switch. We begin to turn on the forebrain, the frontal lobe, which is really the crowning achievement of the human being, and we begin to ask bigger questions. How can we create a new way of being in a world that's falling apart? How can we begin to create a new system to adapt to these conditions? And I think that people, when they begin to feel empowered by possibility, when they begin to see that the death of the old paradigms means the beginning of a new paradigm. How many people actually believe in the idea that the way you think has some effect on your life? So how many people actually woke up this morning and consciously created a future? You know, the biggest reason why people don't do it is because you don't really believe it's true. You see, if you knew on a gut level that it was absolutely true, would you ever miss a day, and would you ever let any thought slip by your awareness that you didn't want to experience? So your brain, according to neuroscience, is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a record of your environment. It's a record, an artifact of your past. So if you believe this, then does your environment control your thinking, or does your thinking control your environment? So if you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed on the same exact side as you did the day before, you shut the alarm clock off with the same finger, you slip into your favorite slippers, you shuffle